Also, can I point out, I just have an ad right now on TechRaptor.net that says Jesus suffered anxiety. He gets us. Learn more.
It was listening because you were talking about The Boys season 1.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the TechRaptor podcast. I'm Robert Scarpanito, your features editor.
Andrew Otten, editor-in-chief.
Rutledge Doggett, site founder.
Andrew Stretch, your Take 2 editor.
Yes, because this is take 2, because I messed up in the first take.
Because he's a big Red Dead and GTA fan.
Yes.
Other Take 2
for sure.
properties.
Big fan of Red Dead Online. I hope that doesn't go anywhere anytime soon. We can continue with
I hope it doesn't red die. Yeah, for sure. This week, we're going to talk about Danganronpa. We're going to talk about Gwent Rogue Mage. But first, I want to highlight an interview we did with the person who put together the Worthy of Better, Stronger Together itch bundle, which is for reproductive rights. I'm sure if you've been watching the news anywhere in the US recently, it's very much a hot button issue. So please check out that interview. We have the link down below, and you can click through and check out the bundle itself. It's got some pretty neat games on there. Definitely worth your time. But now, I think let's jump into some news. We know E3 will be back, allegedly, in 2022. And they've really reconfirmed it over the last week. And they've said that ReedPop, who puts together like PAX, New York Comic Con, you've probably, if you've been to conventions, you've probably been to a ReedPop convention. They are now helping put together E3 2023.
This can be nothing but positive news for the gaming community. Or for those, I think it was only probably a couple of weeks ago that we were lamenting the state of E3 recently. We've had a completely E3-less year where the world has scrambled to figure out what they will title their articles for the period of June, July. But it's safe to say that we'll be able to go back to using E3 with confidence next year.
Confidence.
I don't know if I'm all that confident.
Yeah.
There's one positive in it not being controlled by the ESA, and that's that our press details won't get leaked next year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
But that's actually how you're already on the mailing list for E3 next year.
Yeah. And to be fair, it's not that the ESA is completely hands off here. They are still involved. It's just that now ReedPop is also involved.
It's going to be an interesting shift because PAX is unapologetically like, we're not here for you in terms of the industry. Like, it's all about attendees and fans. Like, they're press, like, you can come, but we are not catering to you in any way. Like, and that E3 was an industry event to make sure whatever press gets covered and stuff. So I wonder how that's gonna, if that's still gonna be part of it, or is it just gonna be another PAX basically, just bigger potentially.
It's probably going to shift away from what we're used to as E3. I mean, every ReedPop has, celebrity signings, all that kind of stuff. They're going to be trying to sell tickets rather than it being...
Oh, you mean I can go to meet Nomura and get my Kingdom Hearts signed?
I thought you already had that.
I'll show up with the Keyblade and have him sign it.
There you go.
Perfect.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm tripping up, right? Is like ReedPop. Oh, I guess so. They do put on San Diego Comic Con, right? And that's usually where a lot of the big like movie trailers and TV show trailers come out. So they're not
panels.
Yeah, I mean they do a
Q&As.
lot. Star Wars Celebration, Star Trek Celebration, Rezzed, EGX, PAX, C2E2, New York Comic Con, San Diego Comic Con, MCM Comic Con, Minecraft Festival, Emerald City Comic Con, BookCon. Yeah, I mean, they do a lot. So, I mean, confidence in pulling it off and it actually happening, high. Being the E3 that we're used to is very low for me.
But that's kind of where I'm getting at, right? Is like San Diego Comic Con is a big announcements season event as well, right? So they're not totally foreign to that idea of like creating an event that is about the industry and announcements in a way. But I mean, there's still like the big fan aspect, right? Even in San Diego Comic-Con. So it's like, how are they going to balance that with E3? Especially when pre-pandemic, pre-ReedPop, E3 was already trending in that direction of kind of trying to be a PAX, but not.
I mean, a lot of E3's strength was in, traditionally back in the day, before you could just live stream whatever event you wanted and like host it as a YouTube presents, and it would be the easiest thing in the world. It was really important for E3 to be that industry event for the big reveals and for the journalists who would then move out, to publish their stuff in print around the world. Like I remember getting, all kinds of Australian game magazines and stuff when I lived there, because that was where news was. But in a digital age, where if you're concerned about how much they'll do in terms of big announcements and stuff, it's like, well, we've just come out of E3 season without an E3, and we've still had a ludicrous number of announcements. Even leading up to Gamescom in a couple of months.
Yeah.
It's it makes sense that like even if the pivot to becoming more of a consumer event is there, it's like there's nothing that we're gonna like really lose about like the big conferences, whether it's like all in LA. I think that this is probably going to be a really positive thing. Probably grow it larger than ever.
Mm-hmm.
Probably. One, I was just double checking. ReedPop does not do San Diego Comic Con. They do New York Comic Con, but not San Diego. Comic Con does come to San Diego. So
interesting.
Never mind, we're all fucked.
Well, I'll just say so. Like they've done big events, but in terms of like the big reveal or the big stages for like a medium.
Oh, but you still like they did Star Wars Celebration, you said, right?
Yeah, yeah. There's definitely like I'm not saying they don't know what they're doing. They definitely know what they're doing.
They know the space.
Right. So.
And now I've got to bring out my Seattle pride. So like, look, we already have a PAX West. Okay, we can't have a PAX West 2. All right.
That's right.
In LA, we only have one PAX West. So I vote we rename PAX West PAX Prime. Go back to the old days.
Yeah.
And leave it to the Hollywood folks to have their PAX West.
What part of
south.
the United States is Prime?
The best part of it.
Yeah,
where there's coffee and Frasier.
Texas would be the ones to say Texas.
West Coast, best coast. They're going to be their own country soon. So
hey, us down in Florida, can we get a major convention?
No.
You get Disney.
Yeah, I'm sure the NRA will happily do one down there or something.
Well, if they aren't out of money already.
Yeah. I'm sure that'll come down there. The RNC will probably be there. I don't know.
That went from sad to depressing. All right.
I'm looking for E3 is. I've missed it. It's been a few years. And it's even as sad as the last one was with how empty some spots were, it was still pretty great. And it's just the opportunity for so many people to be in one place at one time, even if you're not necessarily even seeing a specific game. It is pretty cool and worthwhile to do.
I definitely hope it keeps the, I guess, kind of the vibe. There was something about walking into E3 that first time that was like, this feels different. Especially going to Gen Con every year for the last however many years, mostly, except for the pandemic. I haven't been, but like just walking into E3, there was kind of that energy around the games, and every developer was just pumped to have you there. And I think that's what really made E3 special. So I hope they can continue to kind of capture that, and it doesn't become super commercialized, I guess.
PAX West 2.
I'm sure it will. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like it's, I've really only been to a few different PAXs now, and E3 definitely has a different vibe. I don't know if that'll remain, because I think a lot of people because most people haven't been to E3. They've seen the streams, but then I think a lot of people watch them and don't realize there's still an event that was going on also.
Mm-hmm.
And when you went in there, it was very much a spectacle. Like the booths were all. Like so many big booths that had so much going on. Like I've not been to a PAX that's that involved. Like they're elaborate, have signage and stuff. But yeah, they'd be like what was it the last or second last one we went to actually it was a little earlier than that. They had like a whole new Donk City that was just there for Mario that you could walk through. Like it was
the Fortnite
huge.
area in 2018. That was crazy.
They got to know me very well because they were giving out frozen bananas, and I just walked through there.
Yeah,
Another banana.
You're the biggest Fortnite fan I know.
Huge. Yeah. I main the one class.
Yeah, because Fortnite has classes for sure. Absolutely.
That's how familiar I am with
Perfect.
How many victory royales do you have?
Oh, I've got so many chicken dinners, man.
Nice. Can't stop eating that chicken.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So E3 2023, it's happening. ReedPop. We'll see if it can live up to. I don't even know if I have expectations, honestly.
I'm not sure what to expect.
Yeah,
honestly,
just hope
if it's just
good.
another PAX, I'm like cool with that. Really?
Yeah, PAX in LA. It's a reason to fly.
My guess is it'll like when we talk about vibe, like PAX is always so much more laid back, and E3 is always like so much more serious. Not serious in the sense of like big stuff's happening, and like for us as press, it was always like PR is going to be involved or something. Like it was all very controlled environments. And PAX is always like, I don't give a shit. See my game, like, you just talk to the dev more. It's real chill.
Yeah, PAX feels like a convention. E3 feels like a work vacation, kind of
a little bit
trip.
Yeah.
Which isn't bad.
Yeah, for sure. Big news from last week. The folks over at Sony Santa Monica have revealed that Dad of Boy Ragnarok, God of War Ragnarok, will definitely come out this year, and now they're confirming it with a November 9th release date. And they had a little trailer showing off a big wolf.
That's right.
Can you pet that dog?
Probably. It's
I
harmless.
hope so.
Probably.
I'm going to be very upset.
Yeah, there's no way that big wolf would do anything bad.
The name is Wolfie.
Yeah. That famous Nordic creature, Wolfie.
Wolfie versus the sad lad and the mad dad.
Mm-hmm. Wolfie and his friend Hammer Dad.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are the odds on? We definitely beat the fuck out of Thor, and then Kratos
take his hammer.
Thor's hammer.
Oh,
What's
billion%.
Yeah.
There's
got to be it, right?
Yeah, there's no way they're giving you that 16-inch replica of Mjolnir,
yes.
and you don't get to use Mjolnir as Kratos.
Absolutely
right?
going to be able to use it. Come on.
Yeah, that's going to be like your third weapon. It's going to be the axe, the blades, and then the hammer.
I hope so.
But I don't know. Doesn't
and your fists.
Yeah. I don't know. They haven't done like much in terms of like weapon swapping in God of War for a while, right? Or was it? Did 3 do much like weapon swapping? I know. I guess I've just never really thought of God of War of like a loadout game.
No, I don't think so either. But I think it's with the way the God of War originally ended. Thor's confronting you, and so that's going to be however it begins. And I know there's a time skip of like 5 years or something. I think they've said. But I don't know if in a lot of mythology, if there's a more iconic weapon than Mjolnir.
Yeah,
that's true.
Out there, it's particularly now with Marvel and all that crap. But
right, and I'm not sure if they'll do a loadout type thing. I think it's going to be like you can swap between fist, axe, blade, hammer. Because in God of War 2018, they did a lot of cool shit where like you can throw your axe and then you can just start beating the shit out of someone with your fists. Yeah. And then in the middle of the combo, recall your axe to like finish the combo.
It's been so long since I played it.
You then swap to the chain blades and you do all kinds of great shit.
Right. So, I mean, they're probably going to do even more like start the combo with Mjolnir and then you throw it out there and then swap to the axe. Or something. You know, there's probably going to be some cool hot swapping between the weapons combo sort of shit.
I would imagine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here for it.
I'm sure that he could pick up Mjolnir with like sheer anger. Just like, fuck you, I will pick you up.
Maybe. I think they're going more with like a classic like Norse mythology where it's I forgot what the belt's name, but Thor's got a belt that allows him to carry Mjolnir, why he can pick it up. So it's potential that that Kratos would be wearing that belt. I don't know. I can't remember the name of it, but that's what it is in Norse mythology. Mm-hmm. So what are the chances that Atreus kills Kratos at the end?
Just jumping right to the end.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I
don't know.
It's potentially up there.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's where this goes.
Especially if they then, we know that this is going to be the last game in Norse mythology. So then past that, are they going to try to put, put Kratos to rest and then have, Loki carry on?
Maybe. I mean, we already got, very middle-aged Kratos. Are we going to get, senior Kratos?
Yeah. Papa
Kratos.
Hunched back where he's using a cane as his weapon. Yeah. Actually, now that I describe it, I want this game. Never mind. Do that instead.
He just fills the same role as Cranky Kong in a Donkey Kong video game.
Yeah, maybe he stays alive, but the next game you play is Atreus. Yeah. But it's another time skip, so it's adult Atreus.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then cranky Kratos.
Crankier Kratos, really.
Yeah, crankier Kratos.
That's true.
Yeah. Old.
I'm still trying to wrap around in my head what happened that they had to that they were so heavy on saying something's going to come out Friday, it's going to be out Friday, you can see it on Friday, to in the past 24 hours that plan has changed, it's now next Wednesday. I just wonder what those 5 days shifted.
I wonder if maybe they hit a milestone with dev that they were able to showcase in the trailer that wouldn't have been there before.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
Or maybe the unboxing video.
Yeah, just took some time to produce that, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Or it showed up late and they couldn't record it.
Yeah, it could have been there waiting on production of some thing.
Yeah.
I'm sure we're speculating on that. I'm sure all of this was done well in advance, and it was some boardroom argument over a date. Yeah, that was simply it.
Maybe.
Probably.
Right. So, just around the room, has everyone here taken November 9th through 11th off already, or?
Not yet.
I haven't
taken any PTO yet this year, and so the latter half is going to mostly be surrounded by game releases.
I have heavily considered it.
Yeah. Rudd, are you going to be I'm going to need the rest of November after the 9th off, please? Thanks.
Yeah. I mean, I could if I wanted to.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with all that time? I'm going to go fuck up some Valkyries.
I'm going to kill Thor.
Exactly.
We're coming after you,
I will put that in my PTO request. It's what's your reason for this? Kill Thor.
Yeah.
Get a message from HR. What the fuck are you talking about?
Do you need help? Right?
Are you all right?
FBI contacts you about what's your obsession with Chris Hemsworth?
Yeah. And I'm so excited for this game, though. I feel like that
should be good.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. And I'm noticing now our holiday schedule is kind of filling up. I'm seeing more and more games announced for that time. But God of War is gonna be the thing.
Can you imagine if Starfield kept their date?
Oh my god.
God of War, then 2 days later Starfield.
Yeah. With the way we saw Starfield, I would have felt so bad for Todd. I'd be
God, yeah.
Man,
it would have been
dude.
Go play God of War instead.
Yeah. Do you want to play God of War or No Man's Sky 2?
That's no problem.
That's true.
It's better that it's that way and not the other way around. Because if it was Starfield on the 11th, on the 9th, then 2 days later God of War comes out, the drop rate on that would be incredible.
Yeah, it's true. But no, I mean, between those two, I would easily be playing more Ragnarok for sure. If it's just more of 2018,
yep,
that's fine.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, same.
100%.
Just more of that. Yeah, exactly. Last bit of news for this week: Bowser's coming to get us in Lego form. He stands a mighty 32 centimeters tall. It's Lego Bowser. Lego the Mighty Bowser. TM. Registered.
That's right. So that's about a foot tall.
So Bowser, famously Bowser has sizes all over the fucking... What is Mighty Bowser? Like, is that a specific Bowser that they're referencing? Because like we've had the Bowser that's like the same size as Mario in like Mario Party, all the way up to Bowser from Bowser's Fury being the size of literal mountains.
That's like
or
Super
like
Bowser.
Remember if you've played Yoshi's Island, the just ominous last boss of Bowser just slowly creeping towards you.
Yeah,
it's a fucking humongous.
So what makes this Bowser mighty?
Well, he's legally distinct from his musician brother, the mighty Bowstone.
And this one also interacts with the other Super Mario toys, which is Lego toys, which is really fucking cool.
Yeah.
So you can grab him by the tail and spin him around and throw him.
Well, so that's the thing, right? The Lego block, the Lego Mario block does have that little mini version where you can spin them around, right?
Yeah,
so,
it does.
Yeah. Could you imagine doing that with this one? You just like smack him against the wall and just Bowser breaks into pieces.
And you got to build him again.
Yeah.
Infinite replayability.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
How long do you think it'll be until we get like? How long do you think it'll be until we like physically get a like Mario game that you can like place blocks and have like a little remote control and a Mario with a gyroscope that like jumps? That's got to be in R&D, right?
No.
I mean, we've got Mario Kart in real life.
Well, yeah, because we've had RC cars for like decades.
Well, yeah, so it's just like a similar kind of thing, but just building your own physical Mario level.
Have you been watching, like, do you watch the, like, Boston Dynamics robots and stuff?
Yeah.
We're further from that than you think, I think.
Well, I'm not talking, like, having it with, like, actually, like, articulate separate legs, but it's like a spring pop or something. I'm not saying let's build an android Mario and make him do our bidding.
I'm all for what you're saying.
When the AIs take over, he's then just jumping on people.
Right.
just crushes them.
Just
Goomba
and you just hear him say, "Must kill Goombas."
Yeah.
Yeah. But this the Mighty Bowser Lego set will cost you $269.99 plus tax in the US. And it's a full 2,807 pieces. Now, local Lego expert Otten here, how does that rank? And like when you hear 2,807 pieces, are you like, oh shit? Or are you like, it's easy? What is that for you?
It's a bigger set, but it's not that big, like in terms of pieces. So like, if anybody got the NES and TV thing set that they put out, that was like 2,600 pieces. So, I mean, it's just that this is a lot more striking because it's a big figure of a articulable like guy. But the cost usually is like, what's it like? Every 100 Legos is like $1 basically.
Mm-hmm.
So 1 cent per Lego piece is kind of what it works out to be roughly on average for pieces for sets.
Right.
Well, set looks rad. I don't. It's definitely not. I know that they're trying to sell. Like, look at how much you can shoot fireballs and play with it. It's like this isn't a kid's set.
No, this is a display piece.
Yeah. It does look rad though.
Yeah, it belongs in a museum.
That's right. And as we keep talking about, I hope we see more video game stuff. They really leaned heavily into Mario and Nintendo pretty quickly.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff coming. And then sometime next month I get my BD1. So there we go, more games.
Yeah, I feel like Mario is probably one of the safest bets in
easy
video game because like Mario is basically video game Mickey Mouse.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it'd be nice to see it move on, see some other people.
Mm-hmm. Could you imagine a 32 centimeter tall Super Saiyan cat Mario from Bowser's Fury?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Just all of the yellow bricks in existence.
And it also shoots fireballs.
What if they made like
he doesn't
furry bricks for that purpose? Lego
That sounds
furry
gross. I hate that idea. I
does,
hope you
doesn't
never
it?
said that.
Like, what if they make some furry bricks so they're really branching out and make furred Lego sets?
Is
Have
this like
you
the
been
furry
playing-
Xbox controller all over again?
Yeah, have you been playing with that thing? Is that what's inspiring you?
Do we want to talk about that again? When I was
Yeah,
talking
of
about
course.
Sonic?
About getting the Cheeto dust in there?
Yeah.
All up in that
It's
fur.
it's old Cheeto dust. The fur was white at the start of the gaming session.
Now it's a bright
nasty.
neon orange. Yeah. All right, well, let's move on and talk about some of the games we have been playing. Rut, you've been playing The Witcher 3? A mini game in The Witcher 3?
Yes, and also no.
Okay.
They're installed side by side.
Right.
But yeah, I've been playing I spent a lot of time in Witcher 3 playing Gwent like everyone else, and so was not a big fan of the multiplayer. Just was not a thing that I wanted to really get deep into. Same, like it's like Hearthstone all over again. So them releasing this single player expansion was a good opportunity to get some Gwent, not really have to worry about min-maxing and making sure that I have the right cards and all that kind of stuff. I could just kind of play. And so I've been playing that the last couple days, and it's not The Witcher 3 Gwent at all. But it does take elements of that and then kind of fuse it with the roguey wogie genre. So
now you lay people out there might know it as a roguelike or roguelite. Just
roguey
Those-
wogie.
But
roguey
but
wogie.
trying to delineate those two terms is fucking dumb. So the roguey
Yeah.
woogies.
Is it kind
We're
of
not gonna have this fight over it's a roguelite, it's a roguelike, it's just a fucking roguey wogie. Period.
That's right.
Done. Move on. But it's when you first start, it feels fairly shallow, where it's kind of like a Zerg rush for the most part. But then it gets harder, and you have to be more picky with what you're doing. There's 4 decks available. Each of them have kind of like pros and cons. And then you're essentially going from the start to a monster to get a mutagen. So when you defeat that boss, you get a mutagen. Once you get 3, you can test creating a Witcher again. Because the story essentially follows the Mage who created the Witchers. So your goal is to take down 3, I'm assuming, bosses to create the Witchers. And as you go through, you're either doing combat, you're running into one of the stones of power, which you can either like duplicate a card, you can add power to a card, you can remove a card, or you can restore your mana because you can also throw spells. And then there's treasures you can pick up along the way, as well as like secrets, like question mark things that you can run into that each, like one, for example, is you have to pay a toll to the troll and give one of your cards
Classic.
up. And then other stuff like answering questions that are literally just trivia about The Witcher 3.
So the troll
and
toll,
stuff
are
like
you
that.
getting that boy's soul out of it? All right.
Okay.
What? Nobody knows.
Are
what
we
I'm
just
talking about.
rhyming now?
You don't know what I'm
that's
talking about.
Is it
I have
always
no
sunny
idea
in
what you're talking
Philadelphia?
about.
You should go look it up then.
No.
Last time I looked something up, I got addicted.
That's true. I guess my suggestions are, well, if you haven't seen It's Always Sunny, and if you get addicted to that, it's not my fault. It's good.
Yeah, your suggestions are not healthy for me.
So
Um,
it sounds like it's really like if you liked the gameplay of Gwent, but you like the organization, the packaging, the formula of like Slay the Spire.
Mm-hmm.
This is like your game.
Yeah, you're essentially crossing a map, and there's different directions you can go. You can choose based on, I want to do more combat, or every deck has a leader card that you have to defeat an elite enemy to upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't plan properly for an elite, you will just get shit stomped. Like, they will just absolutely zerg you. So it's challenging. The first go through is fairly easy because I think they're trying to get you through the gameplay play route to understand it. And then that second run is challenging. I think I'm on my 10th or 11th run at this point, and I feel like I have a good grasp, but I don't feel like I've really like completely figured it out. As you complete runs, you get experience, which unlocks more cards, more decks, more potions that kind of enhance your run and stuff like that.
So how, I know it's not that close, but how close is it to something like Thronebreaker?
I think it's a lot closer to Thronebreaker than Witcher 3 Gwent.
Yeah.
From what I remember of Thronebreaker, it's essentially, it's one round, period, and it's whoever has the most points at the end. You know, you can deal damage, you can throw different spells. So like one is do 3 damage to an enemy. One is like Thunderstorm, where you do damage across an entire row. One is like a healing ability, so you can boost your cards. And there's certain elements like you can use one-time abilities on some cards or use repeatable, to where like one of them is deal 1 damage to an enemy, but if you're boosted, then you deal 2 damage. So there's kind of different components that layer on top of each other that keep it interesting, similar to kind of Witcher 3, where you had to plan out, okay, I have to win across 3 rounds. How do I use my cards? It's a lot of the same, but in one round. Like, okay, if I place these 2 cards and then I place this card, I can boost all of them and then attack or whatever. So there is a layer of strategy to it. Run to run.
Well,
and it's $10.
Yeah.
So it's not very expensive. I think that it's probably because they just took Gwent and just added some extra stuff and said, all right, single player. People are not reviewing it particularly favorable.
Yeah. Are you perhaps the only good review out there right now?
No, I think that a lot of the negative reviews are people that played the multiplayer Gwent, I think, too. A lot of the people that are like, if you're just looking for a single player Gwent, this is what you're looking for. And everybody else is upset that it's a single round, and a lot of people don't feel that the roguelike or roguey-woguey genre meshes well with Gwent. So I don't know, maybe people just had very specific expectations. The fact that they announced it the day before they launched it, I didn't even bother looking into it. I just bought it and started playing it, and I'm enjoying it.
Right. So, you're a Witcher fanboy.
Yeah, as evidenced by the books behind me. So yeah, I mean, I think if you like Gwent, if you enjoy a certain level of strategy and challenge from a card game, and you just kind of want a little bit more of the Witcher world, it's worth picking up.
I wish they'd stop tying the Witcher world to card games. I'm one of the few that I played Gwent once in the game. I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah, same. I didn't
go up to the memes that everybody made about Geralt just stopping to play Gwent all the time. That wasn't my Geralt.
Yeah, those all spawned from me.
Oh, you're the originator.
Yeah, I'm the originator.
Let me look that up on Know Your Meme. Let me see.
Yeah, it's like 90 hours of Witcher. 70 of this was spent playing Gwent.
So you never finished it then?
No. I just keep replaying it over and over again. I get like to a certain point and then...
Oh, you genuinely didn't finish it.
Oh, I genuinely did not finish it. No.
Yeah, too much time playing Gwent.
Yeah. I mean, that's honestly kind of part of it.
Yeah, well,
I'm also like, there's too many
Disgusting.
things to do, and I'm the type of person that has to do every single thing, and so I eventually just get overwhelmed.
Did you finish Blitzball? Are you one of those people? Like,
Yes.
yeah.
Well, to be fair, Blitzball at the time was all right.
Yeah.
At the time, it was all right. I would still love to see a modern Blitzball game,
No,
just
you
for
wouldn't.
shits and
No, you
giggles.
wouldn't.
But
Final Fantasy Blitzball.
Go look at Blitzball right now, and you'll be like, "Wow, this is trash," and you'll be right. Like, it sucks.
It was like 2 years ago that I was replaying 10, even trying to get like all of the ultimate weapons and stuff. And I got to Blitzball, played like 3 rounds. It's like, no, there's no fucking way.
Back then it was so novel because it's like, oh, there's this cool little mini game. No, it sucks. Like,
because you don't know any better back then.
Yeah, it sucks.
To be fair, I still don't know any better.
That's true. This is the Elex, man. So
yeah. Hey, what's better, Elex or Blitzball?
Elex.
Blitzball.
We're never gonna agree.
Blitzball's better. Elex sucks.
Oh my god.
Mommy and Daddy are fighting again.
Hey, Stretch, do you want to suss out the truth and tell us about Danganronpa?
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be much news for anyone, or I guess if you own an Xbox, it's relatively new. Danganronpa hit Game Pass a few weeks ago now, or maybe even a month ago, as well as Danganronpa 2. The premise of it is that you're a whole bunch of like elite students locked in an academy, no way in, no way out. And then a weird talking bear pops up and tells you that, you know, you can escape if you manage to kill another student and get away with it. So it's not like action heavy or anything. It's all visual novel, and just like running through the lives of these kids. You know, if you're a fan of the conversational portions of like Persona, then this is probably gonna like line up where you like it, or even closer. So if you enjoy Ace Attorney but you wish you could walk around a little bit,
but it's very similar to like the Nonary games, right? Like 999 and Richard's Last Reward and all that.
I've actually never played any of those.
They're pretty close. The premise is also pretty close.
But it's been fun. I'm like, you know, partway into like the second case. I'm probably like 3 presses of my A button away from them discovering whoever the next body is. But it's been fun so far. You know, I know that getting into it is a lot easier. Like, you know, one of the clues that they give you at the very for the first case is very much like, oh, well, he did it because he's the only person who can do it, and also because this person wrote your name down, you fucking did it. But then it kind of pushes you to then spend, you know, another hour picking up clues and investigating and looking into this and that, and so that was like almost a dropping it point for me to be like, can I just accuse him? Can I just say like, this is your name written in blood on a wall? So obviously it's got to be fucking you.
But what if somebody else wrote it?
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah, I guess someone
Classic
else could be
misdirection.
writing it to frame him.
Yeah.
No, that's true. I had not considered that.
Hadn't you seen like Chamber of Secrets, man? Come on.
But funnily enough, like years ago, I had seen the Danganronpa anime anyway. So there's like little bits and pieces that I still somewhat remember. But then they never turned Danganronpa 2 into an anime. It was weird. They had a Danganronpa 2 anime, but it was a direct sequel to the first anime, but it also called upon characters and information that you learn from the second Danganronpa. So it's like, we're going to name something 2, but it's technically like 3.5, but you've got to play a 20-hour video game in the middle to get it. Have fun.
Yeah.
So I'm finally going to try to patch up that hole in my knowledge of classic video games.
Yeah, the Danganronpa series is one of those where it's like I played through maybe half of the first one, and I know I'd like more of it, but there's something about like sitting there and just mashing A all the time and watching like anime play out in front of you, where it's just like, I'd rather be watching this like as an anime show, which I mean, yeah, you can do with the first game, literally, right? Like,
so like to bring a comparison to Persona, is the difference with Persona is that it is broken up with like combat and stuff?
I think that's part of it. Yeah. And also like there's just like with Persona, well, it's easier because you're watching people talk as opposed to like you have to pay really close attention and like you're finding evidence and like trying to, you know, break people's logic and stuff. Whereas with Persona, you're just watching people do dumb shit together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, it was honestly, just as much as this is like I've seen the Danganronpa anime and now I'm diving into play the video game. My very first experience with Persona 4 was watching 2 episodes of the anime, thinking, oh, this is really cool. Man, I should really play the game. Playing the game, and the first the first episode of the Persona 4 anime is probably about 2 hours worth of just sitting there hitting the X button on your controller.
I was gonna say 4, but yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like, right, no, fuck that. And I went and watched the anime. Mm-hmm. But then when they released it for, when they then released Persona 4 Golden for PC like 2 years ago or something, I finally sat down and played it, and absolutely blitzed through it in a weekend. And that was
which is insane, by the way.
Yeah, you beat that game so fucking fast.
Yeah. Well, because there was a time crunch.
There's nobody that says that. Like, oh yeah, I played all of a Persona game in a weekend. Like, that's absurd.
Well, like
I
started
to
on
clarify,
a Friday,
Stretch is
finished
a
on a
fucking
Monday.
machine.
Yeah.
Well, no, because there was also at the time it was like, Atlas had said to us like, "Hey, here you go," and the deadline for the coverage of when they were going to announce this PC release was like a week later, and I knew
that's right.
Yeah, I knew that I wanted to like get stuff written, do this, do that, whatever. And so I finished the game in a weekend. I got everything written that I needed to get written. And then 2 days before the event that they were going to announce it at, they said, "Oh, hey, actually, due to technical difficulties and like some other technical stuff, that event that we were going to announce it at got postponed 2 weeks."
Mm-hmm. So you had extra time. You didn't even.
But
know
I'd already written everything.
Yeah.
I had extra time. I had nothing to write. And then it was like 4 or 5 days later that like the Denuvo website launched that like, hey, Denuvo is working with Persona 4 Golden on its PC release, and everyone was like, "There's a PC release? Yeah. Fucking what? What's going on here?"
Yeah, what the fuck?
And they totally botched it. It would have been such a monumental reveal, and it just did not play out the way that it should have.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I've done that too, because I did have to blitz through like Yakuza Like a Dragon in basically a weekend, or like 4 days, which would not recommend, because that's a game you should marinate in. Same with Persona. Stretch. You should go through Persona 4 Golden again, but like a normal human being. Like,
well, I've already got all the achievements. What else is there to do?
No, there's no fucking way you did.
I would like to try to do Persona 5 Royal in a weekend.
Oh god,
I can do that.
Good luck.
No, you can't.
I don't know if you can.
You fucking can't.
Don't challenge him.
Unless you don't read anything, you just hit the button.
You hit the skip button and skip everything.
Yeah. I mean, I already know the plot to Persona 5 because I did actually play it originally. It took me like a year to get through, but yeah, I reckon I could do that. Fucking watch me. Are you looking at how long to beat?
I'm looking at speedrun. I'm looking for the fastest fucking speedrun for Persona 5 Royal. It's 14 hours and 23 minutes and 50 seconds.
Yeah, that's a weekend.
That's a speedrun.
And I bet that's with like tricks and shit that you need to be like frame perfect or something, you know what I mean? Or like you break the game in some way.
No, there's no frame perfect that you need to go for anything in Persona, really.
Well, I mean the dungeons, maybe there's like a frame perfect wall hack that you can just skip through most of the dungeon or some shit.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see. When's 5 Royale hitting Game Pass?
October 26th. And you know what? You can perfect your run for Games Done Quick, which will probably have Awesome Games Done Quick, which will happen like in 2 months after that or something. So
and if you're really sneaky, you can just pre-record it.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Just don't say anything afterwards.
or totally be honest about it and be making a whole lot of like really awkward, weird comments during the end of the run.
Immediately, like regret, like immediately.
Yeah. Did you guys hear about this?
Yeah, the Revengeance speedrun, right?
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't the Revengeance speedrun. It was the Revengeance DLC speedrun. It's like a 5-6 minute. Well, I mean, it's 6:55 is the new world record. But it's like an 8-minute DLC, and instead of playing the game, which he's able to do, he's obviously good at it. He got it into GDQ, and he just like very nihilistically like played the video. You know, people noticed discrepancies with like, you know, going from playing the real game and having a clicky keyboard to like no background audio.
Yeah.
And then he just like came out and was like, oh, like the run ended and it was like, oh, it's 6:55, and he said, oh, could we please not call it a world record, just call it what might be achieved if someone was able to play it very fast in the best way possible. Just like, what are you doing?
The fuck? That's so weird.
That was incredibly fucking weird.
So anyway.
Yeah, so Stretch, get ready. Like your 14-hour Persona 5 Royal speed run. That's your next big project, sounds like.
Yes.
Imagine that's a successful world record. Imagine like preparing that.
Yeah.
Like you're 7 hours in, you're like, well, I guess there's no point, gotta restart. Like,
I mean, I guess it also depends what they're going for. Like, is that all do you know what category that is?
it's true. There's different categories.
Is that like Royale
Hard
80%?
mode, hard mode, true ending.
Oh, okay, that's why it's so long.
Yeah, true ending is like normal playthrough is like an extra 15 to 20 hours.
Yeah.
On top of the normal ending.
Okay, so do you
So
see
they
a
got
tab
true
there
ending
for
and the extra
for
time
easy
it takes to
80%?
get.
I think that might be the only category because there's no other tabs for it.
There's got to be other ones.
I
There's
don't
always
know,
a million categories for every game.
Yeah. There's some real fun, like weird categories out there, like dog percent in Breath of the Wild. It's the speed run to start the game and pet every dog in the world.
I did see a speed. We're just talking speed runs now. I saw a speed run during the recent Games Done Quick stream where it was that Pokemon Emerald chaos randomizer thing where every time you choose your starter, every time it levels up, it revolves into something completely random.
Yep.
Amazing.
Complete random evolutions. Key items are random pickups. Randomized speedruns are just so cool.
But it might be one of the coolest things to come out.
The Spike Vegeta Nukes co-op Ocarina of Time randomizer was also fantastic. Had a real fuck you seed, and the Taskbot Ocarina of Time Triforce percent was really fun. That they did arbitrary code execution to make a whole bunch of the beta files and beta assets and stuff appear in game. That they had in the tech demos and stuff when they were wanting to test how Z targeting would work for flying enemies. The developers just put an R-wing into the game. So, they let the arbitrary code execution happen, and then he walks out of a house, and an R-wing comes by and starts shooting Link. It's just fun. Pure fun.
That's great. I'm in the middle of, Yakuza Like a Dragon, they speedran that this past week. It's a 4-hour-ish speedrun, I think.
Yeah.
So I guess I gotta get good. Gotta trim that 50 hours down to 4 somehow.
Get to it.
I don't know if the right takeaway from watching speedruns is to get good.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't think you're watching it for the right reason.
No. Yeah. I think that should do it for our show this week. I think that's a wrap. Hope you enjoyed listening to our show, and if you did, please feel free to leave a review and share it with a friend. Let them know that you enjoyed as well, and maybe you guys can share the love. And subscribe wherever you're listening. If you're on YouTube, whatever podcast platform you're listening on, that way you will get new episodes of our show every week. And if you want more, we always publish some news, features, and reviews at TechRaptor.net. But if you want more of this show, you can check us out next Monday. See you then.